All right, let's unlock the secrets of David Goggins. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the mind of this man who's become, well, synonymous with extreme mental toughness.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll go beyond the hype, using the sources you shared to find those universal truths about resilience and self-mastery that you can actually use.
And it's quite a journey, isn't it? From a really, really tough childhood to becoming this legendary Navy SEAL and ultra-endurance athlete. Goggins isn't just about, physical feats. It's a profound look at psychological transformation.
Psychological transformation, exactly. Because his early life, it was anything but strong, right?
Far from it.
We're talking about an anvil of adversity. He actually calls it hell on earth. Childhood abuse, racism. He hit this absolute rock bottom.
Yeah.
Saw himself as a 300-pound pest control fumigator. Totally stuck.
Wow.
But it was that pain, that realization, like the devil really was me, that sparked everything, forged it into this incredible drive.
And that's where he gets this core idea, his 40% rule.
Right.
He basically figured out that when your mind is screaming, I'm done, you're often only at about 40% of what you actually have left.
Only 40%.
Yeah.
So your brain's the real limiter.
That's the idea. And what's wild is this intuition he had, science kind of backs it up. There's something called the central governor theory.
Okay.
Think of it like your car's fuel light. It warns you way before the tank's truly empty. Yeah.
Right. To be safe.
Exactly. Your brain does something similar. It hits the fatigue button long before your body's actually at its absolute limit. It's protective.
So, okay, if our brain's holding us back, how does he trick it? How does he push past that 40%?
Well, he doesn't wait for motivation. That's key. He just acts consistently, even when he hates it.
The stick, not the carrot.
Precisely. He talks about callousing the mind by deliberately doing uncomfortable things, stuff he dreads.
Which sounds kind of ancient almost.
It really does. This idea of intentional suffering, self-imposed hardship, it echoes some old philosophical traditions.
Like what?
Well, it lines up with asceticism, which literally means training through discipline, and his intense focus on what he can control, his internal state.
Yeah.
That's pure stoicism. Marcus Aurelius saying, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Goggins lives that.
Okay, so we see the power of the transformation. It's incredible, but we need to be careful here, right? Before everyone tries to run ultras on broken bones.
Absolutely. We need that critical lens.
Because applying this to your life,
yeah,
that's different. His success, it's a classic case of survivor bias, isn't it?
That textbook. Running a marathon on a fractured leg, that's an outlier. His methods carry huge risks for most people. Debilitating injury, burnout. Even Goggins warns against just copying him blindly.
Right, and that relentless, I do not negotiate with weakness thing. While powerful for him, maybe it isn't sustainable long-term for most of us. Could even become a kind of self-abuse.
It could, yeah. Constant internal pressure isn't healthy. And there's another trap, too, this motivational pornography.
Explain that.
It's, watching endless videos of extreme stuff. It feels inspiring, feels like you're doing something.
But you're just watching.
Exactly. It creates an illusion of progress, but you haven't actually taken any action yourself.
So the real takeaway isn't be Goggins. It's finding that middle path.
Yes.
Synthesizing it.
Yes, finding your middle path.
Distinguishing between, say, productive discomfort, the stuff that actually makes you grow, and just genuine harm.
Right. It's about moderate, consistent steps. That whole 1% better every day idea, that's more achievable, more sustainable.
So it comes back to his maybe most useful lesson.
Which I think is the self-authoring mind.
Taking ownership.
Radical personal responsibility, yeah. Owning your failures, becoming your own hero. Your mind is a muscle. You can train it. But train it for your life, your goals, your circumstances, not just to imitate Goggins' craziest feats.
Okay, let's make this concrete. Some actionable things you can start doing.
All right, first, deconstruct your governors. Identify your personal mental blocks, the excuses, the fears, the points where you usually quit. Know your patterns.
Got it. What else?
Second, embrace productive discomfort. Pick one small, uncomfortable thing you can do consistently.
Like a cold shower.
Yeah.
Or making that call you dread.
Exactly. Something manageable to start callousing your mind, building that resilience bit by bit, not breaking yourself.
Okay. And finally,
start your personal book. Don't just watch Goggins' story. Start writing yours. Through actual, deliberate, consistent action. Become your own hero. Stop being a voyeur to someone else's life.
Powerful stuff. And here's a final thought for you to chew on before we wrap up.
Yeah, just this. If your mind really does hold the ultimate power over what you think your limits are, What incredible potential are you leaving on the table right now, just because your governor is set too low? Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something pretty intense. David Goggins' 40% rule.
Ah, yes, from Can't Hurt Me. It's that idea, that when you feel completely spent, absolutely done, you're actually only at about 40% of your real potential.
Exactly. It's powerful stuff.
It really is. And today, we're going deep. We'll look at the psychology behind it, the brain science involved, like the central governor theory.
And some history, too, right? But also, crucially, the risks. Because just pushing isn't always the answer.
Definitely not. So our goal here is to give you a really balanced view so you can use this idea wisely, for actual growth.
Okay, let's start unpacking it. Goggins' whole thing comes from his own life. Incredible transformation, overcoming just immense challenges.
Right. And this 40% rule, it's not like a precise scientific number he measured.
No, it's more of a concept.
Exactly. It's rhetorical. It's designed to make you question those limits you feel, to suggest there's this huge reserve inside that we don't normally touch.
But what about actual fatigue? When your body is screaming, stop, how does that fit?
That's where the science gets interesting. There's this thing called the central governor model.
Okay.
Basically, it suggests your subconscious brain acts like a governor on an engine. It starts reducing power output before you hit catastrophic failure.
So it creates the feeling of fatigue to protect you.
Precisely. It's a safety mechanism. The fatigue you feel is often an emotion generated by the brain, not necessarily total muscle failure yet.
And you can actually measure that perceived effort, right? Like with the Borg scale, the RPE.
You absolutely can. The rating of perceived exertion. So Goggins' approach, you could say, is a way to consciously challenge or negotiate with that governor to override that initial sensation.
He calls it callousing the mind, actively seeking out hard things to build resilience.
Yeah, that's his core method, pushing through discomfort repeatedly. It has echoes of stoicism, the focus on mental endurance.
How does it compare, though?
Well, both value toughness. But Goggins uses suffering almost like a tool, instrumentally, to achieve peak performance, maybe even self-mastery, through, let's be frank, a kind of masochism. The Stoics saw enduring hardship more as a way to develop virtue and inner peace, regardless of the outcome. Slightly different goals.
And that idea of pushing limits, it's not new. I mean, think about Cliff Young.
Oh, incredible story. The 61-year-old potato farmer.
Right. Who just shows up and wins a 544-mile ultramarathon, just ran straight through while others slept, basically redefined endurance.
A perfect example of mind over perceived limits. And this is a big but.
Here come the warnings.
Yes, we absolutely have to talk about the dangers, those warning signs from your body. They aren't just psychological fluff. They are sophisticated biological intelligence. Ignoring them can be catastrophic.
Like what specifically?
Well, overtraining syndrome, or OTS, is a big one, where you push so hard for so long, your body and mind just can't recover. Performance tanks, mood suffers, hormones get messed up.
Okay, that sounds bad enough.
But it gets worse. There's rhabdomyolysis, rhabdo. It's a severe breakdown of muscle tissue releasing damaging proteins into the blood. It can lead straight to kidney failure, permanent damage, even death. It's life-threatening.
Wow. So blindly following the 40% rule could literally kill you.
Potentially, yes. And besides the physical, think about the mental toll. Burnout, chronic stress, even something called high achiever syndrome, constantly feeling inadequate, like an imposter, despite success. That relentless warrior mindset might not serve you well in everyday life.
So the takeaway seems to be nuance. Our perceived limits often are far short of our actual capacity, but our bodies and minds do have real breaking points.
Exactly. The skill is learning to tell the difference. Discerning between I feel like stopping and I must stop.
Okay, so how can people listening use this insight practically?
First, understand your governor. Recognize fatigue often starts as that brain signal. Maybe use something like the RPE scale to get a more objective sense of your exertion. Learn your body's language.
Don't just ignore it, understand it. Makes sense. What else?
Second, build that mental callus incrementally. Use progressive overload. Push your boundaries, yes, but in small, manageable steps. Controlled growth, not reckless abandon. Avoid injury and burnout.
Small steps, steady progress.
Third, see recovery as strategic. It's not weakness. Sleep, rest, nutrition, these are non-negotiable parts of getting stronger and lasting longer.
Yeah, recovery is part of the training.
Absolutely. And finally, know the danger signs. Be vigilant for symptoms of overtraining, burnout, extreme mental strain. Those warning signs are your body's best defense against serious long-term harm. Listen to them.
It's a powerful tool, but one that demands respect and self-awareness. So here's a final thought to leave you with. What if the ultimate mental toughness isn't always about pushing through pain, but sometimes having the wisdom to step back, to recover strategically, and to truly understand your actual limits for sustainable long-term resilience? Something to consider. Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, let's jump right in. Ever think about this paradox? We live in a world that's basically designed for maximum comfort, right?
Absolutely. Everything's about making life easier.
Exactly. So why then would anyone intentionally, look for hardship?
It sounds counterintuitive.
It really does. But that's what we're exploring today, this idea called the calloused mind. You hear people like David Goggins talk about it a lot.
Right. And it's crucial to understand this isn't about self-punishment or anything like that.
No, not at all. It's presented as a really deliberate way to build a tougher, more adaptable mind, real emotional strength.
And that's our mission for this deep dive, really. To unpack that metaphor, the calloused mind, we'll look at the neuroscience behind it, which is pretty surprising.
Yeah.
And trace it back through history, ancient wisdom even. Plus, we need to see how it stacks up against, modern life, our comfort culture.
Right. The idea is to give you, the listener, some tools, maybe some mental armor for when life inevitably throws challenges your way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Moving past just surviving, aiming for thriving, even when things get tough.
It's quite a concept. That physical callus is such a perfect analogy, isn't it? Skin gets tougher where there's friction.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the mind seems to work in a similar way.
So we'll dig into how the brain actually changes, this neuroplasticity thing. It seems controlled stress literally rewires things.
Yes, specifically it seems to boost the connections, the myelination in the prefrontal cortex.
Which is huge for decision-making, right? And keeping emotions in check.
Precisely. It helps make that part of the brain faster, more efficient, especially under pressure. It's sort of like what happens in clinical approaches like stress inoculation training, SIT.
Building resilience intentionally.
Exactly. It's funny because this isn't some brand new idea someone just cooked up.
Oh, yeah?
No, this echoes way back. Think ancient Stoics. Seneca used to say, difficulty strengthens the mind as labor does the body. Pretty direct, huh?
Well, yeah, that's spot on.
Or Marcus Aurelius talking about amor fati, loving your fate, embracing whatever happens. For them, it was about practice, anticipating problems to build, mental calluses.
So it's a long-standing philosophy.
Definitely. And you see it in modern times, too. Think about Nelson Mandela, Stephen Hawking, even J.K. Rowling faced immense struggles. Right?
Incredible adversity.
And didn't just endure it, but used it somehow.
Yeah.
Forged something powerful from it.
Okay, so if this idea is so old and proven, how does it fit with today, our, comfort culture? And maybe even some aspects of modern self-care.
That's the tension, isn't it? Modern life often pushes instant gratification, avoiding any discomfort.
Yeah, smooth things over, make it easy.
But that might actually weaken our natural resilience. If you never face friction, you don't build the callus.
So intentionally choosing some discomfort could be a path to, real strength.
That's the argument. But,
Yeah.
and this is important, it's not about being numb or burning out.
Right, there's a balance.
It's about understanding your real limits versus the ones your mind just creates, the stories we tell ourselves.
Makes sense. Can we make this more concrete? How does this play out for real people?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Personal stories make it clear. There's a powerful example, Angie Mozillo. She lost almost everything, home, business, in a huge fire.
Devastating.
Totally. But she talks about not just bouncing back, but bouncing forward. She deliberately embraced the daily struggle of rebuilding, using that trauma as, fuel.
Wow. Using the friction to build something new.
Exactly. It shows how facing hardship, even terrible hardship, can be transformative if you approach it that way.
So wrapping this up then, the calloused mind idea, it seems it's really about being intentional.
Yes, purposeful.
Choosing to add a bit of friction to your life, not to hurt yourself, but to build that genuine strength.
It's like taking radical responsibility for your own growth, using challenges as a forge.
Forging an unbreakable will, as they say.
Yeah. And the cool thing is, you can start small.
See?
Anyone can.
How so? Give us some takeaways.
Okay, 3 quick ideas. 1, start the day with something small and uncomfortable you choose to do. Cold shower, maybe, or just getting that workout in when you don't feel like it. Trains the mind.
Proves you can handle challenges.
Exactly. 2, pick a task, maybe at work or home, that's difficult but not, critical, something you've been putting off, and just tackle it. slay that small dragon.
Builds confidence, expands capacity.
Right. And 3, look back at past failures or tough times. Try to reframe them, not just as bad experiences, but as callousing experiences, things that actually prepared you.
See them as sources of strength.
Yeah. Recognize how they sharpened you.
Okay. Lots to think about there. So the final thought for everyone listening is, what bit of purposeful discomfort will you choose? How will you start forging your own path to a more anti-fragile mind?
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping into something pretty intense, actually. David Goggins' accountability mirror. Our mission really is to unpack how a simple mirror became this tool for just radical change.
Yeah, and it's important to set the stage here. This isn't, gentle affirmations. We're talking about a psychobehavioral tool.
Psychobehavioral, okay.
Basically using psychology to force behavior change. It came out of a real personal crisis for him, and it demands, frankly, brutal self-reflection. It's meant to jolt you.
Right. Let's get into that origin. Goggins was, a junior in high school?
Yeah.
And things were not going well. Failing grades, skipping school. His dream of joining the Air Force was basically slipping away.
Totally.
And then there's this moment. After a shower, he wipes steam off this, corroded mirror. And he sees himself. He called it a low-budget thug with no purpose and no future. And he felt just pure disgust.
And that's key. It wasn't just, I should do better. He described it as violent collision with the truth he could no longer evade.
Wow, a violent collision.
Yeah. That level of emotional pain, that shock, it kind of demanded an equally powerful response, It led straight to that core Goggins idea. You are stopping you.
Right.
You are giving up instead of getting hard. It's a total rejection of any kind of victim mindset, taking ownership.
That phrase, violent collision with truth, it really sticks with you. It makes you wonder how often we avoid those moments.
We do. It's uncomfortable.
But he didn't just see it. He harnessed it. So how did he turn that raw feeling into an actual system?
Well, it started with just talking to himself in the mirror, sometimes while shaving, real raw self-talk. But then it evolved.
Into the Post-its.
Exactly. He started sticking Post-it notes with very specific goals right onto the mirror. It became his command center for reinvention.
A command center. I like that.
It made those goals totally unavoidable. Concrete tasks staring him back every single day.
And there's real psychology behind this, isn't there? Something about cognitive dissonance.
Precisely. The mirror forces this daily clash, right? Between the reality you see your reflection, maybe the person you're not happy with, and the ideal you want, written on those notes.
That sounds uncomfortable.
It is uncomfortable. That discomfort, that dissonance, creates this intense pressure to change your behavior, to make the reality match the ideal, to resolve the conflict.
And that daily goal setting feels like it taps into habit formation, too.
Yeah.
The whole habit loop idea.
Absolutely. It fits perfectly. The Post-its on the mirror, that's your visual cue, your location cue. You see it every day.
Okay.
The written goal, run 2 miles, study for an hour, that's the routine. The specific action?
And a reward.
The reward is actually pulling that note off when you've done it. It's tangible proof of progress. It reduces that dissonance, reinforces the action, feels good.
So boiling it down, it's not about thinking your way into feeling different. It's about acting your way into a new reality.
Exactly. You don't just affirm self-respect, you earn it. Through the hard work. Relentless work, in his case.
So practically speaking, you start with that harsh self-audit. Like Goggins saying, you're overweight because you make excuses. Brutal.
Brutal, but specific. Then you put specific actionable goals on the notes. Confront them daily. Do the work. Take the note down.
And then replace it. Right. Slightly harder goal.
Yeah.
It talks about no finish line.
Always raising the bar.
Yeah.
Continuous improvement.
Okay, but let's address the elephant in the room. Goggins' style is intense. That harsh self-talk, couldn't that backfire for some people? Especially if you already struggle with negativity.
That's a really valid point, and it's crucial. The initial harshness, that jet fuel, as he calls it, needs to evolve. It has to become constructive self-criticism.
Okay, what's the difference there?
Huge difference. Destructive is, I'm useless. Constructive is, okay, I failed that task because I didn't manage my time well. Next time, I will block out specific time slots. See? It's specific, actionable, solution-focused.
Got it. So it's channeling the intensity, not just wallowing in self-attack.
Exactly. Otherwise, it is self-destructive. The ultimate goal isn't to need the mirror forever. It's to build what he calls a calloused mind.
The calloused mind.
Meaning mental toughness, self-discipline becomes so second nature, so intrinsic, that the external mirror isn't necessary anymore. Accountability is internal.
It really ties into that whole philosophy of just unflinching ownership, doesn't it? Like Jocko Willink's extreme ownership.
Precisely. Taking 100% responsibility, no excuses. Your life, your choices, your outcomes.
It's powerful stuff.
So maybe the question for you listening is, what's that uncomfortable truth you've been avoiding? What specific, measurable thing could you put on your mirror right now? And what would happen if you actually confronted it, looking yourself in the eye every day, not with blame, but with a plan until it's done? The power's there. It's about taking charge.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're digging into a really powerful idea from David Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me.
That's right. The cookie jar method.
Exactly. It sounds simple, like just a metaphor, right? A mental jar of past wins. But we want to explore how it's actually, more than that, how it's maybe a solid psychological blueprint for, well, building serious resilience and facing down self-doubt.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating, from my perspective, is the clear link to Albert Bandura's self-efficacy theory.
Okay, self-efficacy. Break that down a bit. It's not just feeling good about yourself.
No, it's much more specific. Self-efficacy is believing you can do a specific task, succeed in a particular area. And Goggins' cookies, they're basically Bandura's mastery experiences.
Mastery experiences.
Yeah.
Like actual times you succeeded.
Precisely. Undeniable moments where you push through and won. And those successes, those personal victories, they're the absolute best way to build that specific belief. It's proof, Your own history is showing you what you're capable of.
Ah, okay. So it's tangible then, not just like wishful thinking.
Exactly.
And you mentioned there's some brain science here too. How does remembering these wins actually work?
Right. So recalling these memories, these moments of high confidence, it isn't passive daydreaming. It's an active neurocognitive thing.
Okay.
It actually lights up key parts of your brain. Think areas linked to memory, sure, but also emotion and motivation, like the hippocampus and parts of the cingulate cortex. So when you pull out a cookie, you're essentially strengthening the neural pathways tied to success and overcoming difficulty. You're kind of actively rewiring your brain, moving from I can't to, wait, I have done something like this before. I can tackle this.
Wow, okay. Like actually exercising your willpower muscle.
You got it. It makes that belief much more robust.
So that internal evidence-based feeling, that sounds really different from just, repeating affirmations like, I am capable.
Oh, completely different. If you look at the bigger picture, affirmations are often, well, a bit generic, aren't they? And external.
Yeah.
You say, I am strong. But a cookie, that's a cold, hard fact from your life, something you actually did. It's internal proof, much harder for doubt to argue with because you lived through it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That evidence feels more solid.
And it's not even a new idea, fundamentally. Think about historical figures. Winston Churchill, right?
Yep.
He famously battled depression, his black dog. Reports suggest he often drew strength from remembering past times he'd persevered through failure and success. Those are his cookies, fueling him during the war.
Okay.
Or Nelson Mandela. 27 years in prison. That experience itself, his ability to endure and maintain resolve, became an incredible source of strength, a testament to his inner steel.
Right.
Even someone like Marie Curie, facing immense hardship, losing her husband, she could draw on the achievement of her first Nobel Prize as proof, as fuel, to push on and earn a second one.
Those are powerful examples, definitely. But for people listening, maybe not facing wartime or decades of imprisonment, how does this work day to day? I remember struggling on a run once and thinking about a tough hill I'd conquered before actually did help. Is that it?
That's exactly it. You nailed it. It doesn't have to be monumental.
Okay.
An athlete visualizes a past successful shot before taking the game winner. A project manager, feeling overwhelmed, remembers that impossible deadline they did meet last year.
Yeah.
For anyone recalling finishing a tough workout, navigating a difficult conversation successfully, even just getting through a really demanding week, that's all valid evidence of your grit.
So the anatomy of the cookie is the memory of the challenge, the effort, the win, and how it felt.
Yes, precisely. Remembering the whole sequence reinforces your capability. It's your personal proof.
Now, Goggins himself, his whole stay hard philosophy can be pretty intense. Some people find it, well, maybe unsustainable or overly self-punishing. How does the cookie jar fit with that critique?
That's a really important point. I actually see the cookie jar as a crucial counterbalance within his own system. Think about his accountability mirror, right? That's about confronting harsh truths.
Facing weaknesses.
Yeah. The cookie jar prevents that from tipping into just burnout or self-flagellation. It provides the fuel. It reminds you of your proven strengths alongside those weaknesses. It balances the equation. Okay, this is hard and here's where I'm lacking, but look what I've already overcome.
So it provides the positive evidence to keep going.
Exactly. It's the reserve tank.
Okay, but what about the idea that dwelling on the past isn't always healthy?
Yeah.
Getting stuck back there.
Right. Another good distinction to make. There's a huge difference between dwelling or ruminating, which is often passive, maybe regretful, and keeps you stuck.
Yeah.
And recalling for purpose.
Yeah.
Using the cookie jar is active. It's a conscious choice. You're retrieving a past triumph specifically to solve a present problem, like low confidence or flagging motivation.
So it's strategic remembering, not just nostalgia.
Precisely. It's deploying your past successes to power your future actions.
Okay, this is really practical. So for listeners wanting to start using this, what are the key takeaways? What can you do, like, right now?
All right, 3 simple things to start. First, create a list. Seriously, write down maybe 5-10 moments, big or small, where you persevered or succeeded. Your personal cookies. Keep it somewhere you can see it or easily access it.
Got it. Like on your phone or a notebook?
Yep. Second, active retrieval. Next time you feel doubt creeping in or motivation dipping, take 30 seconds, actually open that mental jar or look at your list, and vividly recall one of those moments. Feel the effort, the success.
Really focus on it.
Yes. And third, daily practice. Try to make a small habit of noting down one win, however minor, or one moment of progress each day. Just jot it down. This keeps filling the jar, keeps the evidence fresh.
Nice. Consistently adding to that reservoir.
Exactly.
So the cookie jar method.
Yeah.
It really feels like a practical blueprint for resilience, turning your own history, which sometimes feels like baggage, into this undeniable source of power.
That's the core of it. Proven power.
Your past isn't just stuff that happened. It's this well of strength you can tap into. The real question is, how are you going to use yours?
That's all for this episode of the Deep Dive Cast. Thanks for joining us. We hope you gained some valuable insights. Be sure to tune in next time for another deep dive into the world's best ideas. Until then, keep learning and growing.